All right, welcome back, everybody. It is now time to judge the Game Jam submissions. As a reminder, this week's theme, or I keep saying weeks, this month's theme was running out of power. So there's a variety of different ways you could implement this theme. You did have the entire month to work on it, and I will be going through judging and announcing a winner. As a reminder, we will release next month's Game Jam theme. We do have a bunch of holidays coming up. However, I did not choose to incorporate them as any of the themes just because the I wouldn't want to have someone work on a theme and then, for example, it'd be New Year's, and then 2 weeks after New Year's we have the Game Jam. It'd be a little bit out of date, so the Game Jam theme is going to be a little different from that. All right, so just as a reminder, if you are ever watching dark mode, you want to see certain things in the stream, or maybe you want me to answer some questions live, feel free to comment on the wall. I try to keep an eye out. Always make sure to tag me as you do. That way I can see it. Otherwise, let's go ahead and jump into the Game Jam submissions. All right. First, we have from kidOYO this hatch submission. So I already checked, there were not any directions in here. Let's see what the game looks like, and then I'll describe some of this. So every time I click the green flag, these spin to a random position. Sometimes you get this one appearing up here. This is kind of a cool idea, but there's a bit of lack of directions. Very often, people like to add directions in their project, be it in the actual game itself or in the description section. I think that's a really good way of explaining your game to people, especially if it's a somewhat minimalist game like this. Maybe you could add a narrative, but in this case, it's kind of hard to determine what you're supposed to do. So I did dig through the code and kind of piece it together, and you want all of these to line up so that when you press this button to go, this dot right here can get to the end. And I'm not quite sure how this relates to the theme, but at least the way I envision this is this is an electron and it wants to go along the wire. Could be wrong, but that's at least what I see when thinking of the theme. But as you can see, when I click this button to make it move, it can't go anywhere because the connection is not made. So at first I thought you just have to click this and it's a game of chance. But I found out later that, oh well, that actually lines up. So we'll try it again this way. You can actually click these to spin them. So you line these up, and then when you click this, that circle, or I think of it as the electron, can go through, get to the end, and then you've won the game. So I thought this was kind of a cool idea, but it lacked description, and it lacks a bit more gameplay. There's not levels to this, there's no trickiness, you just need to turn these, if there was some limitations that made this more like a puzzle game, this could be a pretty cool format for a puzzle game, but I would have liked to see more past what was done here. Remember, you do have the entire month to work on these projects, so there could definitely be some pretty impressive projects made within that time frame. Speaking of which, and I'm just going to go back to our challenge checking, so thank you, kidOYO, for that submission. Speaking of time restraints in creating games, we have been ramping up to the hackathon season. So I know a bunch of teams have been training or even figuring out who's going to be on their teams. We were doing some hackathons today with some different school districts. Just as a reminder, in your school district, you can hold skill dashes and skirmishes, which are kind of like scrimmages, where you can play your own mini code conquest hackathons, and that's a good way to train. We see a lot of we see a lot of cool projects in that time frame. So within 3 hours, some people are making some pretty cool games. So that's just what people can do within 3 hours. So I know what you guys can do within a month is can be pretty impressive. All right. So I thought I had put this one to the side, but let's see if I'm mistaken. So when I click this, okay, yes, this is different from what I thought it was. So it says, I'll just go full screen here. It says, beat this maze before time runs out. Your computer is running out of power. So I'm going to go ahead and let the computer run out of power and see what happens. It looks like this is a maze game, and you just have the restriction of time running out, which is not quite power running out. Okay, your battery is dead. Let's see what happens if I beat this maze. I'll move to the right. It shows the battery with a 50% charge, though the picture kind of indicates a full charge. And that is it to the game. So I really would have liked to see more with this. I know that many of you have done multi-level maze in school, which is just 3 levels, and I think some of you could probably complete that within a few minutes, easily within a half hour, I think. So I would have liked to see more with this. Also, this is running out of time, and I understand your battery drains over time, but not really if you're not using it. So I'd like to see a little bit tighter adherence to the theme, or at least a more creative relation to the theme. But thank you, Hello, for your submission. I'm going to move on to the Coding Kid. I don't know if I've seen a submission from the Coding Kid yet. Let's see. Oh, okay. So this is another project that did not have, I believe, any... Oh, no, you know what? It does have a description, and it actually has some of the high scores written down as well. I'm just not going to show that because they use the first and last names, and I'm not trying to put that out into the stream. But this game is a little bit more unique. It's at first I thought, okay, you got like a business guy at a forget what they call that, not a lectern, but something else, and you know, kind of giving a speech, and I was thinking maybe this is political power, but it's actually just like speaking power, speaking stamina, which I could definitely appreciate. And anyone who's led or taught a class, or even just live stream talking with no one else in the room with you, knows that can be surprisingly tiring. So this says sustaining power. Please read the description before playing. Got a typo there. I did read the description, so I'm just going to go ahead and start the press conference. So will you cancel everyone's Wi-Fi? I'm going to say yes and just end this game real quick. No? Okay. Yeah, you've lost. So it is related to a little bit to political power. I think it's also just keeping the momentum of the speech. It's kind of, I guess, a blend between either of them. But you want to answer the questions in line with how you think the mob of people would appreciate it. And then if you can beat the timer, you beat the game. Will you make school longer? Of course not, no. Will you give everybody money? I guess so. Will you steal money from everybody? No. Will you cancel everyone's Wi-Fi? No. Will you steal money from everybody? That's a repeat. No. Will you make school longer? Also a repeat. So it's going by random, but it's not popping things out of a list or anything. No, I won't get rid of TV. You make everyone have to walk everywhere. No, it's not as bad, though. I didn't catch that one, so I'm going to say no and hope. Okay, will you ban candy? Nope. Will you make school longer? No, once again. Will you cancel everyone's Wi-Fi? Once again, no. We just had this one. Okay, so I'm going to end this conference real quick. So it seems that once you get to a certain power level, you can actually end the press conference. And then you have that nice little end screen. So I appreciate this game. It's a unique take on the theme, and I think it actually adheres to it pretty nicely. I like the attention that was paid to changing the font. Very often people don't change the font, but I think this looks nice. some nice lose and win screens. So thank you, the Coding Kid, for that, what I think is your first time submission. I apologize if I'm incorrect on that one. All right, next we have Coder123. Let's see. So much important work to do. If I finish by tonight, I get N1000. It's a $1,000 bonus. Oh no, the storm knocked out the power. I have to go to the generator. He's at the generator. Lightning struck the generator. This guy is definitely not going to get his bonus at this rate. But maybe he can get to the computer store for portable batteries, except he lives in Tornado Alley, it appears. So at first I thought this was just going to be a story, and then I realized that you could actually move around the character, so I guess you want to get away from the tornado, and I think if you just avoid the tornado for long enough, you can get to the store. I don't think you need to go to any part of the screen. You're just trying to stay away from the tornado? Yeah. Yes, I made it. Now I can get my bonus. So I think really you needed to go to the store, get the portable battery, get back to your computer, finish your work, and then you would get the bonus, but I understand the correlation. So I would have liked to see more gameplay. It doesn't seem like there was a lose condition. I think I let this sit for a while, and the tornado did not seem to harm our business attired friend. So I played this one because it does have some interactivity, but this is more of like an interactive story really than a game. There should be some kind of win or lose condition, an ability to score a higher score, to place on a leaderboard, something like that. But thank you, Coder123, for that submission. Next is Duckrat. Let's see what Duckrat has for us today. I'm going to go full screen. We are out of food. Can you help us? And I guess that what I'm supposed to do is click on these apples. Yep. And as I do, I gain points. So this is thinking of power as power to, power ourselves, food. So I guess we just have to collect enough. And then once we collect enough, then we will have enough power. So I did play this game before, and I believe that the score that I need to go up to is 20, which we will see in just 2 more objects. Let's see, 1 more. Objects, they're apples, 2 more apples. Yep, and we did it. So to be honest, I really would have liked to see more. I know that Duckrat is capable of these pretty impressive story-based games where there's like a narrative and stuff like that. This is a little bit similar to the Hatch Catch the Apple game, if anyone's familiar with it from the learning paths. I would have liked to see a bit more, but this is a game and it does adhere to the theme. So thank you, Duckrat, for that submission. Next is the Coding Turtle. I can't remember if I've gotten a submission from the Coding Turtle before, but this is a pretty cool and unique game. There are directions written in the description below, but I'm not going to show them because they're already here. And I did not realize this before. This has sound, and it doesn't seem super loud. So I'm going to go ahead and restart this and turn on the audio so you guys can hear some of it. So right off the bat, I really appreciate this kind of opening sequence here. I think it's pretty original. It's good to have that kind of storytelling. So let's see. Instructions: arrow keys to move, space or up to jump, and then you can jump left and right as well. If you run out of power, you go back to beginning. You can use jump glitches to pass some levels. Good to know. Hint: go very close to Spike, then short jump. Thank you. So I'm going to go ahead and start playing this. As I move to the right, you can see I start running out of power, and then I need to stop and recharge a bit. I like the walking animation that's there and some of the other details. And you'll see that as I go through, there are these lightning bolts that will power me back up so I don't need to stop as frequently. Also, I'm sure you can hear it, but if not, there are these kind of walking... Oh, it got stuck. There we go. There are these walking sounds. I am out of power. Okay. So it's charging back up slowly. So some of my critiques for this game are that I do think there are ways so that the walking animation is not so slow and labored. I understand a little bit that that could be part of the game, but it just seems to work a little bit inconsistently. So it's not as fun to play when that's the case. But let's see if I can get a little bit further than I just did, because that was not a super great performance. I think jumping doesn't cost anything. So it looks like I need to wait here. Like right now I'm holding the left arrow key, it kind of wasn't moving. Kind of had to wall grab to get through that one. I do appreciate the detail down here. I'm probably going to have to show this teacher. This is the student's teacher. I don't know if if the name drops would be appreciated, so I'm gonna withhold some anonymity, but I am personally enjoying that. Okay, so get real close to the spike and then short jump. And short jump is done by jumping and then pressing the right arrow key. I'm just gonna get as close to it as I can. I got a little too close. All right, so I don't think I'm gonna play any longer because it is a little frustrating to watch me play through this as I get stuck on things. Or you know what? I'll do a speed run. And if I lose, I lose. Well, I'd do a speed run if it didn't get stalled. Nope. Okay, that was my speed run. So thank you, the Coding Turtle, for that submission. I think it's a pretty unique submission, and I really appreciate the attention paid to some of those small details that were mentioned there. So next submission we have is Hello Lee. By the way, there are some submissions that we got that I am not showing today, and that is only because they did not meet the requirements of the game jam. This does need to be a game, right? So I can't just let people submit anything and show it on here and consider it a valid submission. So unfortunately, I can't show those. All right. So for this, we have this game where I guess we want to buy energy. And energy doesn't really seem to be running out. Oh, I get coins by sitting on the safe. Maybe? Oh, okay. So I was actually misunderstanding something before about the game when I play tested it. So let's see if we can do this a little bit differently. So I can actually walk over. I'm going to run into these two rocks. Let's go back to the safe and see if that gets us anything. Oh, okay. So this game, that's what I was hoping would happen. I didn't understand that we needed to interact with the safe. So it looks like we are a robot floating through space. And in order to not run out of power, we want to collect all these things and then go to that store so we can maybe get more energy. So I'll sit on the bank here, earn some more dollars. Okay, I'm at 300. I don't know if I am going to make it, because I need to earn a bunch more than that. And is this just a timer? Okay, I think it is just a timer. So there's no sense in going slow. Right, so I'll hang out on this safe. Let's see if we can get to at least 400. So we did. I don't think I'm going to be able to make it, though. I think I'm going to run out of power pretty quickly. Oh, maybe I get power just by stepping in the store. Or I get returned back to 150 every time I go into the store. Maybe that's it. So this game's a little tricky in that you definitely want to pick one direction and move only in that direction. You don't want to start going to the side and down or up. That's just because it goes continuously, and you do need to remember how you got there, and without anything to reference, it can be pretty difficult to do so. So I'm on my mining expedition. I'm gonna try to get to 1,000, I guess. It is cool how that sign appears that lets you know what part of like the realm I guess you're in. Like I'm in the Emerald entrance or something like that. And before I run out of time, I want to make sure I can get back and restore my power. So I'm just going to sit here, build up the bank. If this takes too long, I don't want to bore everyone by trying to get as far as I can. Yeah, I think this might take just a little too much time to try to earn all the dollars that I need to, coins that I need to. I wonder if you earn more coins the farther for objects you get that are farther from your base. So this will be my last run. I'll just try to collect as much as I can without deviating off the track, because like I said, it's very hard to find your way back if you do that. All right, so I don't think I hit 1,000, but this game definitely works. It's a pretty interesting game. I like how the character moves around. This fire animation here is pretty nice. But definitely an original game. I appreciate it. Thank you, Hello Lee, for that submission. Let's go back. And lastly, we have Irrational Number. So Irrational Number did give us a hint. I'll be nice to you. Tilde, less than, and pipe are the secret keys we need to use. So I'm going to click the green flag. We have this really awesome starting sequence. I guess that was learning path. The screen goes black. Glasses crack. Okay, lights. The lights go out every now and then. Figure out what to do as nobody tells you what to do. Press 3 certain keys to play, and we know what those are. So pipe, less than, and tilde. So you press those at the same time. The game starts. This light goes is here, and once lights go out, then we light up just everything around us. And we have to avoid these obstacles, which can be pretty difficult. I'm not good at this game. World record, 27 seconds. So there were cloud variables implemented into this game, which is always really cool, really impressive. I'm going to go for one more round. Let's see if I can kind of make it. I was about to say not doing too bad, and then that happened. All right, so I am not very good at this game, though it does seem pretty difficult. I really like the animation in the beginning. I like the appearance of everything. Honestly, the appearance on a game is very underrated by people and how in the effect that it can have. It does a lot for storytelling, so I appreciate that. The artwork is nice. Like, these obstacles look pretty cool. The lights look good. Let me start this game so we can appreciate some more things real quick. Yeah, so even like small stuff like the bands of light that bob up and down, the light bulb, how the glowing around the player sprite. Wow, 3 is pretty bad. All those different things contribute and make this a real nice game submission. Yeah, thank you, Irrational Number, for that submission. Solid game. All right. So, for this week's Game Jam winner, I had a really hard time because there were a couple of submissions, namely the last 3 that I had a hard time deciding between. And it's still a very hard decision to make. But for this this month's Game Jam, I am going to have to award the gonna just double check real quick, make sure I'm not mixing everything up, but this should be correct. Yes, I am going to award this month's Game Jam win to the Coding Turtle. So congratulations to Coding Turtle. I would have liked for the movement to be a little smoother, though I do know while I'm streaming, sometimes the way things are programmed just don't work very smoothly, so I'm going to give a little bit of the benefit of the doubt there. But overall, I thought the animations were really cool. The concepts tied into the theme really tightly. I like this game character, the game sprite, and stuff like sound effects, little things like that really make the game nice and completed. I would like to see this game maybe improve so that the movement was a little bit smoother. You don't get kind of caught like you do in your game here. I think there's definitely ways to get around that. But once again, congratulations on the win. This was a very tough one. I know that the game we just looked at with Irrational Number and Hello Lee, some really awesome submissions, but I'm gonna have to give it to the Coding Turtle for this one. So thanks everyone for watching. Before I go, I do have to say that we have our next month's Game Jam theme ready to be released. So without further ado, next month's Game Jam theme is Dreams. I chose this because it could be pretty creative, and I'd like to see all of the different creative storytelling that can be done, and also just the all the different game styles that can be implemented. This is a pretty wide open subject, as dreams can be very varied and maybe even irrational and illogical. So I'd like to see all the different ideas that everyone can come up with. That's it for this month's Dark Mode episode. I'll see everyone next time.